You are officially in the incinerator. Welcome to Incense and Common Sense, the live streams that we do here on the Alert Zone TV. Shout out to everybody because this is a worldwide movement. I would love for you guys and girls to become active citizens. If you aren't, you can do that by hitting the subscribe button, hitting the bell so you can be notified when we drop nutritious and fruitful content. Um, Hitting the like button. Make sure you're sharing. And most important, make sure you view the material. If you're new here, it don't cost you nothing to subscribe to the channel. Um, with that being said, we'll do like always. We'll give everybody a couple minutes to get up in the room. I appreciate you guys and girls. As usual, we love to thank eyes and ears. I know he don't ask me to do this, but I just do it. For the incinerator, also, I want to shout out GunTube. When I say GunTube, I don't just mean the content creators, but I mean the people who consume what we create. But shout out to GunTube, and I always give my disclosures and what have you. Whether this channel is for you or not, I want to see everybody win in this space. Find your GunTube channel or channels. Support them. When we say support, subscribe to them. It don't cost you anything. If you see any merchandise that they're selling, any products that you want to do to support the channel, by all means do that. You guys and girls know here in GunTube, a lot of us fighting against the YouTube algorithm. GunTube is not recommended for a lot of people, it's a constant uphill battle. But with that being said, if you guys and girls would just do us that favor, make sure y'all subscribe to these channels and view the material, comment, stuff like that. And especially here on the Alert Zone TV, definitely we appreciate that. So hope everybody's having a good day. Also, if you're in the eastern coast of America, or out in the Caribbean or where have you, if you've been affected by Hurricane Aaron or you're in the pathway, I hope you guys and girls are safe. If anybody has lost their life, condolences. I haven't had a chance to check up on it. What's going on, Glock Twins? It's going. It's going. Just want to make sure that we do it like we always do it. Oh, yeah. Shout out to the Huicholes out of Mexico. I don't know about that, but I'm good. I don't know if that's a trolling thing or what, but I don't let nothing stop me. But shout out to the Huicholes for my cup. You guys and girls know all the beads are laid on here by hand. The Huicholes down in Mexico, definitely a shout out to them. I give everybody a couple more minutes to get in here, so we can get started. I'm going to try not to keep you guys too long, but y'all know how that goes. The other night, the last live stream we did, it was a short one. Oh, yeah, it's incense. Oh, okay, that's all right. That's fine. Yeah, this is incense up in here. I'm an old school dude, old school New Orleanian. I love my incense. This is kind of like, I guess this is the equivalent of people who drink or smoke or what have you. This relaxes me. I love to burn incense because it keeps the smell good wherever you are because it penetrates. And it's just something that's relaxing for me. So our brother Eyes and Ears Tactical gifted us this. Make sure you subscribe to his channel too. I'm going to have to start calling my brother Glocky. Oh, Eyes and Ears Tactical. For the Glockies, like we got junkies out here. I like they used to call it junkies. I'm going to start calling them Glock lovers Glockies. That'd be our way of calling them a Glock junkie. But shout out to my brother, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. In India, every family use it while praying. Okay. Oh, shit, we got somebody from India here. We appreciate that. What's some advice you can give us? I'm kind of lost in life and want... It depends on what kind of advice do you want. or what kind of little guidance that you want, and be a little bit more direct, and I can kind of, well, I'll just give you a broad answer to that. Keep up with positivity. The best way you can keep up with positivity is going to be around positive people. Be true to yourself. Let me just address this before we get into tonight's topic, because that's a good question. Look, you are what you are. I'm not sure. You know, you have guys that's not tough guys that want to be tough guys. You have these so-called women that want to be baddies that's not baddies and all that. Be true to yourself. Find you something you like, find you a plan, and you just stick to it. Understand, if you want to be with positivity, you're going to have to be around positive people. That's not to say you might not make sometime be around people that's a negative person, because it happens from time to time, but just get around like-minded people. Just do things that keep you in a positive mood. For me, one thing I learned for me that keeps me grounded when I'm having any kind of stress or what have you, sometimes I just pick up a book and start reading. I've always been the nerd of the bunch, and I've always been okay with that. And that's what soothes me. Just reading sometimes. Just picking up a book or a newspaper, or even if I get online and start reading articles, you know, just do my research and stuff like that. So I hope that can help you. If you want to be more direct, a more direct answer, I'll give it to you later. We after the 5-minute mark, so let's go ahead and get started. So I named this Encounters with Law Enforcement and Organized Retail Theft. And I wanted to start, no problem. Look, we want to see everybody win here. And it's just going to be some hardships. As a matter of fact, I tell you what, I'll give you a good piece of advice. We got over 800 wonderful pieces of information on this channel. Binge watch this channel. I talk about a lot of different things that ties into your life, whether you believe it or not. And maybe that'll help you. But okay, so what was the inspiration for me to do tonight's live stream is I saw a video come across my feed out in Chicago, the 18th district. I'm assuming that's downtown somewhere. I don't know Chicago like that. But there's a tactical group called the 1863 Tactical Group. Or I'm assuming, since I saw them in plain clothes with their vests on, they're supposed to be like the narc squad or whatever you want to call them. And I thought this was very, very telling, because I watched what they was doing. So apparently they're supposed to be this proactive crime group. And they were stopping people on this one particular street. And there was one stop in particular that just really floored me because it was on camera. They stopped the guy for driving a Challenger. As the officer walks up to him, because it's the officer's body cam for anybody who want to say, well, what happened before the cam came on? He asked why was he being stopped. They told him because of turn signal and the seatbelt on. He ain't had no seatbelt. But his body camera was already going. The guy's turn signal was on when he walked up from behind. And he's clearly sitting in his seatbelt as the officer approaches him. And he says, I have a seatbelt on. So I want you guys and girls to think about that. He already, it's outside, has on his seatbelt. Now, why is this important? Within 30 or 40 seconds of that interaction, they had him out of the car, had him handcuffed and was searching the car. He didn't agree to consent to a search, and they searched it anyway. I watched the comments in that section, and something got pointed out. And this is why when I tell you about being in encounters with law enforcement, you always got to remember, when you legally armed, it changes a whole lot. For somebody to walk up on him and say, I stopped you because you didn't have a seatbelt on, and he clearly has one on, And the next thing you know, they escalated and jack him out of there. This is how people wind up on the side of the road dead with the gun. Because if they yanked him out of that car that quick, imagine how silly they would have got if they found the gun up in there. Even though it was his. Look, I want everybody out there that's in the Second Amendment community, that's legally armed, I want everybody to understand something, because this is really important. You are only one knucklehead officer away from going to jail and being tied up in a whole legal thing. This is why I say this. Have your driver's license, registration, insurance in the car. If you got your firearm, keep your hands where they can see them, and try and make your transaction as smooth as possible with these guys and girls out here. Also, if they start with their fucking shit, let them go and search you. Let them fight them in court. On the side of the road, it's not where it's gonna happen. Yeah, well, I mean, it's on video, and this was what, and then the record came out of these particular officers that they've all been disciplined for this before, and they just continue to do it. This comes down from the top. Now, apparently, this is supposed to be in a kind of an upscale area. I'm not gonna racialize this, because it doesn't tie in with this specific topic about that. I am going to say this. You guys and girls don't understand when it comes to firearms how much trouble you can be in, because another story came across my feed, and I want to show you guys something. I want to share something with y'all. I'm not sure how it is in your state. In Iowa, I have my concealed carry permit. And this has become a thing too. That's why I'm bringing this up. It said permit is invalid when the permittee is intoxicated. That makes a difference. So for you guys and girls who don't know, I'll give y'all the story. I've been living up here in Iowa since 2010, the end of 2010. It's 2025. I've been up here 15 years. When I first got here, I heard a lot about OWI or what have you. I didn't know a lot about it because in New Orleans, I mean, Louisiana back then, I mean, I think you damn near had to run into something to get a DWI. It was really unheard of. But as I was going through my years of being here, I just kept noticing all these people I met with OWIs on their record. And I kept saying to myself, there's got to be more to this. And before I go any further, this is not a jab at law enforcement. We have people from law enforcement that supports the channel, that tunes in and what have you, so shout out to y'all. Let me get back to what I was saying. I just kept saying there's no way that many people can get caught drinking and driving. It's just not possible. I had somebody tell me I didn't know what I was talking about, and I was like, look, I'm from Louisiana. I'm from New Orleans, to be exact. I saw a lot of no good people out here behind badges. There's got to be more to it. No way all these people can get caught drinking and driving. Then after a couple of years, the stories start coming out. Certain officers across the state. Then last year and all this year, these stories about that Nashville area, Murfreesboro, Nashville, down there in Tennessee, that area, all these sober drivers that keep getting arrested. They keep getting arrested, and 6-7 months later, when they blood tests come back from the lab, they found out they didn't have nothing in their system. They've lost their homes or their jobs or what have you. I'm going to tell you why that matters with the Second Amendment. Do you understand? Anytime a cop arrests you for intoxication, OWI, which OWI everywhere, as far as I know, is a felony. Now, I know some, or misdemeanor, might be a misdemeanor in some places. Nevertheless, I'm going to tell you what turns it into a felony. in America, you're not supposed to be in possession of a firearm if you consider to be legally intoxicated. Because what that means is, like this says, that is void if you intoxicated, my concealed carry permit. The next thing they can do is get you for unlawful carrying of a weapon. Because under the law, you're intoxicated. So your privileges are revoked. That's even in these constitutional carry states. They can get you for unauthorized use or unlawful carrying of a weapon, which will turn into a felony. Anything with a firearm. I've talked to people throughout the years that I've been living here that has told me, I got stopped, I got railroaded, I had my gun in my car. It cost me 2-3 years of fighting this and thousands of dollars to keep from going to prison because I never was drunk. These are the type of pitfalls that you guys and girls have to watch out for. That's why I tell you, be on the up and up. Now, as far as that, with law enforcement, railroading people with the whole DWI thing, well, all you can do is keep your paperwork in order and know that if you know you have not drinking anything, you know you haven't smoking anything, did any kind of drugs, take the breathalyzer. Get that on record when you blow zeros. They take you to jail. As soon as you leave the jailhouse, go get you or they'll usually do it because you requested at the jail, or they'll take your blood samples. I know for people who need their vehicle to get around, all of us do, it's an inconvenience. But this is the best way to handle that. Don't get too aggressive with them. You can tell them they're screwing you over and this and that. You can tell them what you want. Don't physically fight them because you don't want to add more charges on. Go ahead on, fight them in court. The worst can happen is you get a ticket or what have you. Don't try this on the side of the road. And, another story came across, 2 more stories I'll talk about before I change the subject. There was an officer down in Jackson, Florida or Jackson County, Florida, that was planting meth on people. That's hard to deal with. One guy had his firearm with him when they planted meth on him. He said it took him 2 or 3 years to clear his name, but not only did he have a possession charge, but because he had a gun and having meth is a felony, that's having a firearm during the commission of a felony. People think that robbery or murder is cause for that. All you got to do is be in possession of a felony stolen goods, a stolen car, a felony drugs, and they'll enhance it with a firearm. So it'll be the use of a firearm during the commission of a felony. You guys and girls have to be real technical. Lastly, something that came across my mind and my feed that was just it almost make me don't want to talk about it. A small town in Kentucky, in southeastern Kentucky. For those of you guys and girls who don't know the story, I got the story from one of the women that participated in this. There was a sheriff that went into a judge's chambers and unalived him, and it's on video. Well, apparently this was some kind of sex ring going on in this town. It was diabolical. To the point where one of the women who came forward said that as a child, they had been getting children hooked on drugs as a child in this town. Basically in order to get them on the system and keep them in the system for the rest of their life. I mean, it's so bad to the point that this woman did prison time and everything, and they got her on parole until 2099. But you guys and girls are welcome to, let me see if I can find that real quick. Yeah. Sorry about that. Then I'm going to change to something that might be a little bit more light. Because it seems like I'm attacking law enforcement, but that's not what I'm doing. I don't want them to take it like that. Let me see. I know this is on here. Y'all give me a minute, everybody. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, it's on. Brian Enton, his channel is where I saw that story. I'm gonna try not to be too graphic, but this one particular woman was talking about how they use CPS and everything to railroad everybody in the town. How the judge, basically all the higher ups in the town, was having sex with the inmates. I mean, it. You guys and girls can go check it out for yourself. I'm not gonna even get into that. This is why I tell you on the side of the road and where you have court. Unfortunately, a lot of people just don't believe it and don't want to hear it. There's a lot of sexual deviance, and this is not just to America. This is across the world. There's a lot of sexual deviance behind badges. There's a lot of evil people that's in law enforcement. That is just just what it is. Law enforcement doesn't just mean the cops, the prosecutors, the judges, and what have you. I mean, you guys and girls, just go and check it out. Moving along to something else that I wanted to talk about. Because this is something that goes on that a lot of y'all don't understand. This is why I tell y'all to be legally armed. These organized theft, retail theft rings. They always say when a crime happens, follow the money. In Montebello, was it Montebello Park? A guy named Montebello Park, I'm sorry. Out there in California. Owned 2 hardware stores. Look like just regular hardware stores that he operate. Come to find out, he had almost $5 million worth of stolen goods in his stores. That they stole from warehouses. They stole them from trains. They stole them from ships. Organized retail theft ring. For those of you who never been to California, when California had all these smash and grabs going on out there, the Ulta Beauty and all this other shit, I kept saying, well, they keep putting one thing on the news. And this is where I just have to keep it, as they say, keep it real. If I rub your feathers the wrong way, you'll get over it. They kept putting this on the news out there, in California in particular. That all these smash and grabs, all this organized theft from Ulta Beauty and all this, is just black women just going crazy and black folk just... I grew up in the hood. I've never seen nobody walking around trying to sell no fucking makeup and lipstick. You can't... Black folk don't buy that stuff like that. They just don't. And I kept saying to myself, okay, why they keep going to Ulta Beauty? What is it about Ulta Beauty that they keep going in this place? You see how raggedy a lot of these chicks look. How unkept they look going in these places. It's not like they going in there dressed like they going clubbing and doing this. They dress like they sitting on their damn porch. You know what I mean? And follow the money. And it came back to a suburban lady that called herself the Queen Pin and what have you. Now, what does this have to do with law-abiding citizens? Do you know how many people have been robbed during these smash and grabs? Do all this kind of stuff? Yeah, I mean, there's been people, when they come in these jewelry stores and all this, you could possibly be in a store where this stuff happened, and they'll start trying to rob you. But nevertheless, break-ins, for those of you who do home building, construction, any kind of trade work, any kind of skilled trade, you got your truck with your tools. Do you understand there's a whole underground market for your stolen stuff? That puts your life in danger. Because people coming, they show them stealing high-end cars and all that. But that's one of the #1 thefts out there that's never really talked about. Work trucks and work vans being stolen with thousands of dollars of tools. But you don't see guys on the street selling this stuff no more. When you go to the pawn shop, oh, okay. Well, y'all cracked toolboxes by the... Shout out to y'all. Nevertheless, that puts you in jeopardy. If they can't pay attention, I want you to think about this. There's videos here on YouTube where I've seen guys be out doing landscaping, doing construction, what have you, and a vehicle will pull up, and a bunch of people will jump out and start going for certain tools in particular. What's going on, Dexter? Yeah, I'm having a good day so far. I hope you're having a good one yourself. They're out here stealing construction tools. And I mean, they've gotten bold enough to do it in broad daylight. On the job sites, pulling up with guns or pulling up in the car and trying to snatch stuff like that. These pawn shops and these stores are where this stuff is being sold on, because guys and girls are not willing to take the chance on walking the neighborhood or driving around with all this stolen stuff in their car like back in the days and see if you want to buy it. There's a whole underground economy for stolen merchandise like that. And this is important, like I said, because if you deal in this kind of work, if you have this kind of stuff, you need to take the steps to protect yourself. Because you never know when it's going to happen, man. And it's sad, that you can't get out here and work and make a living without somebody targeting you. But I'm saying that this is going on. I always wanted to know, all these Home Depot, these steps out of Home Depot, these people going to hit Lowe's and all these other big warehouse, big brand stores. This is what fuels that. Everybody know the pawn shops is the place to go. Usually the pawn shops get dimed out when criminals get caught and they need somebody to point the finger to. But I just thought that I would bring that up, that correlates into your life more than you think it does. Because you might be buying a particular saw. They love getting them, I forget the name of them. The saws where you turn the water on, but you cut the stones and stuff with them. They love stealing that kind of stuff. Because there's a market for it. One thing about it, people don't steal what don't sell. I want everybody to understand that. If somebody show up on your lawn and start stealing your grass, believe somebody out there is buying it. People don't steal what don't sell. These organized retail concrete cutters. Yeah, there you go. You know what I'm talking about. Them concrete cutters. Especially in that Houston area, I've heard several stories and seen several videos on cameras where people have pulled up on these guys in broad daylight and pulled guns out and came to steal those saws, because there's people that will buy them, and they know that. If they can't sell it direct to the person, they know where to go to get rid of this stuff. So that puts your life in danger. I know doing construction with a pistol on you may not always be comfortable. I did road construction for 6 years. We still kept it on us most of the time, though, even though we was out there on the job site. Because construction work is more dangerous than people think, dealing with the public. There is people that'll get angry and try and attack you. I've had several people try to run me over with a car. So, definitely. I just wanted everybody to understand that. Because of the underground economies that go on, yep. Yeah, it's when I used to work for Arrow Trucking, we had a yard in Houston on McCarty Drive out there. It got so bad that they had to hire security for at nighttime. Because people would come up in there and get on the back of the trucks and go to stealing equipment. If you had your chains and binders locked, if they got on your truck and you didn't come out fast enough, or they think nobody was in there, they cut your locks and take your chains and binders off the truck. And then the next day when you're going down McCarty towards Sheldon Road, you see them at the little flea market up there selling the shit they just stole off the back of your fucking truck. So don't think that, and imagine if you jump out on them, because a couple of them got jumped out on and brawls broke out. You know what I mean? So you have to be careful, man. It's unfortunately we live in a world where you might be minding your business, but that's not what criminals do. Criminals mind your business too. That's their job. This jugging thing. One guy drove 13 miles to his house, and as soon as he went in the house, they bust his window and took his money. Don't you think that these guys and girls won't follow you? Like I said before, back in the old days, they would steal what we call hoopties. They would steal raggedy shit. Nah, now they in stolen cars, tinted windows and what have you. They in cars that you never would believe will follow you. Or you would think, well, they in the Infiniti, they ain't gonna do me nothing. And they'll follow you right there and rob you while they're driving a stolen Infiniti or a stolen Mercedes or whatever, Mopar. So I just thought everybody would need to know that. You know, from time to time, I do these kinds of videos and refresh everybody on what's going on and what I see out there. Because the criminals evolve. The criminals come to GunTube, they watch everybody, they see what we talk about, and they go back and they regroup. If you don't believe me, go back just 2 years ago and come up to 9. Pay attention to how the criminals don't come one at a time no more, two at a time no more. When they come in and steal your car out your driveway, it's 2 or 3 stolen cars that's out in the middle of the street and everybody armed. Or the one guy that's going to steal your car gets out. There's one guy that's paid to watch the door. So if you come out, there's guys that go up to your camera system and points the gun at your camera to let you know if you come out here, you're going to be shot. That's because of GunTube. We here on GunTube, whether you believe this or not, if you're a GunTube, if you are a Second Amendment content creator, listen to what I'm going to tell you. We moving that needle. You just may not see it. I know a lot of times y'all don't think we get validated until like Vice TV or one of these mainstream channels or the news do these little pieces where they talk about the rise of gun sales among Americans getting armed and all that. That ain't because of the mainstream media, because the mainstream media is the biggest reason most Americans ain't armed, because they've disarmed everybody up here. The main place, they've told them up here that if you're a man that go gets a gun, you're a coward. And for a female, that's what they got men in 911 for. So they've done a number on people not getting armed. Well, since the rise of GunTube, and that has gotten so popular, we moving the needle. All of us that do this has inspired at least one person to get armed. And we always say if we can get one more person to be armed, we did our job. I know several people I've inspired to get armed. I hope I keep inspiring people to get armed. I want everybody out there to be legally armed. You guys and girls know I don't condemn the street life. I just condemn the rules that they have now. Because I know what the rules used to be and I know what the rules are now. And of course that attribute to everything changes. You know, they say nothing stays the same. The street rules, the street values, they don't exist anymore. I will say, for the young people, they have to learn some of them the hard way. But if you already up in age and you out there in the street, you're a fool. Knowing everything you know about what go on out here, look, the streets is dead, okay? The American government thing got so bold now that they going in other countries snatching drug dealers. The kingpins that they want, hell, El Mayo. I think that's how you pronounce it, El Mayo, El Mayo, El Mayo. The big Sinaloa drug kingpin from down there getting ready to plead guilty. And in hopes that they give him a short sentence so he can do his time in America and get the hell out of here. You can't do this kind of time these people giving you here, man. These people giving you life sentences for this stuff. They giving you life sentences and making sure you don't never get out. But nevertheless, I just want everybody to get legally armed. I want everybody to understand. Also, we need to have a protocol when dealing with law enforcement. You got to understand some places. I'm gonna have to get this confirmed, so don't hold me to it. Once law enforcement know you have a firearm in their car, that gives them probable cause cars to search your car. I know some places they do. I know some places they don't. But I just thought that I would talk to everybody and let everybody know. Yeah, I've seen the videos. I know what's going on. As far as uh, different issues when it comes to dealing with that. This is not a anti-cop video. This is just about letting you know and reminding you that these guys and girls are bold enough to do a lot of this stuff on cameras now because they don't fear a consequence. On the side of the road and where you hold court. I even seen one police um uh he said on the side of the road you ain't gonna win 99% of the time. You're gonna lose. And you do what you want. I'm just giving you a guide to how to stay 2 or 3 steps ahead of these guys and girls because just like when law enforcement stop us, we don't know just like when law enforcement stop us, um, we don't know what's their intent. They don't know what's ours. They want to go home. We want to go home. I'm just giving you a guide to stay a couple steps ahead of them. You know what I'm saying? So, um, with that being said, everybody, ain't gonna hold y'all up too much longer. I definitely appreciate everybody that was able to catch me live. Um, might do a live stream tomorrow. I might do Midday Madness tomorrow. Midday Mania, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate you for stopping by, DMP. Yeah, I appreciate everybody that was able to catch me. I just wanted to talk about that and just make sure I keep everybody on point that you just gotta always stay ahead and you gotta use your head, you know, and sometimes it don't always work out like that. I know sometimes we get angry. We have people that push our buttons, but cooler heads always prevail. That's why we sit down here in the free world and we able to have these discussions. And also, like I said, when it comes to this retail theft, don't think because these people may come in the store, they may not start with you. That don't mean that they'll stop with the store. You guys and girls have seen it. They came to do these smash and grabs and yank people's purses and what have you. So just know that as long as there's somebody that's willing to buy stolen goods, there's always gonna be people that'll steal them. And if that means that they have to hurt you in the process, they will. So with that being said, everybody, I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. Make sure that you subbed to the channel. I can't say that enough. Make sure you view the material. Our live streams seem we just do more and more live streams. I'm gonna try and do some stuff that's pre-recorded also. You guys and girls know I don't show firearms on the live stream because of YouTube's rules. You know, you're on their platform, so you got to do what they tell you to do. So, hit me in the comment section and let me know what you think about what we just talked about. Be respectful. Shout out to everybody because this is a worldwide movement. Until next time, stay safe, stay armed, stay on high alert. We out.